All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to tonight's live stream. So today we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, and I'm also going through a huge list of potential setups on altcoins that I'm watching. So a quick update on Bitcoin, and then we'll go right into the altcoin market and we'll start looking at some interesting setups. So this is a Nest Club exclusive webinar, which I'm today doing live. So right after the partner ads, we're going to go in and look at Bitcoin and the altcoin setups.
Prime XBT is the most powerful trading platform offering immediate access to over 30 assets. Trade cryptocurrencies, forex, commodities, stock indices, and much more, all from a single Bitcoin settled account. Visit the link below and start trading on Prime XBT in minutes.
YFDAI is democratizing finance by creating the most secure, transparent, and user-friendly ecosystem of DeFi products. To learn more, visit thebirdpress.com/YFDAI. Bistro is a decentralized peer-to-peer food marketplace that makes ordering food more convenient and rewarding for both providers and customers. Learn more at thebirdpress.com/bistro. CryptoCart bridges the gap between DeFi and e-commerce by allowing you to directly spend your crypto on countless real-world goods. Learn more at thebirdpress.com/CryptoCart. Equinix is a NASDAQ-listed digital assets company offering crypto exchange, custody, asset management, borrowing and lending services, and more. Enhance your crypto wealth today at thebirdpress.com/Equinix.
All right, so first and foremost, the most important question of our century right here, is Cardano too high? The answer to that question might be complicated, but I'm just going to say yes, it's way too high. So wait for retrace. But on the other hand, I said that yesterday as well, and we're like 30% higher, which is just insane. A lot of people got left behind, me included, but like it's hard to do TA on something that just keeps on going up. But I do think that it's highly overvalued at this point. We should see some type of retrace. I'm not saying it's overvalued long term, but right now it feels way overextended. I'm gonna look at the chart for ADA shortly, and no, I'm not rested from my run yesterday. I'm dead. Like I'm still dead. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people said Amazon was too high in 2015, and look what happened. Look what happened. So I mean, I can't really comment on the fundamentals, the fundamentals of Cardano or the background of Cardano, but like it's looking at PA. We're gonna look at that, and yeah, it's moving. Right, so let's do a quick update on Bitcoin right here. So we have BTC USD on Bitstamp right here, and it's I'm seeing a lot of panic, which is insane, because where's the panic? You know what I mean? Like shouldn't be any panic right here. We have had some insanely good moves here for Bitcoin. Yeah, I'll take a look at Luna. Like I have a green list right here, so you see I have like 20, 30 altcoins we're gonna go through right now. So the chances are that the ones that you're asking me about, Luna, Engine, and ADA and that kind of stuff, is on that list most likely. So I've filtered all the future contracts on FTX, and I went through them all. It's I think 150 pairs right before the stream, and I filtered out the interesting ones. And basically, the interesting ones is the ones that have it's already or is still in a established uptrend on the 4 hour. So we're going to go through that list rather quickly because I'm not interested in showing you the details of all the coins. I'm just interested in showing you the setups, which I'm going to look at myself and probably take if we find anything interesting. But first of all, we need to kind of check Bitcoin right here to see what's going on right here. And the 4 hour trend is very much alive. We are right now coming down and testing the previous low time frame range, which is this one right here. So range high, range low, break and retest of range high, big rounded retest of range high, confident with weekly open. There is, of course, a fairly high possibility that we will bounce in this area, But if we lose this area, the likelihood of going down is of course gets bigger with a breakdown. So I'd say as long as we're above the weekly open, I am looking for a continuation move to the upside for Bitcoin. But as soon as we break the weekly open, especially the 4-hour 20 EMA, I'm going to look for that move lower. Looking at the daily right here, and if this daily candle turns into a rather bearish candle, maybe even closing below 48.9 or stuff like that, I'd say we're in for a move lower. But we still have a very good support at 48k and at 47k. If we have a major, so let me put it this way, we could get a move back down to 42k, and I would still be majorly bullish. Majorly bullish, yeah, I think that's the right wording. Maybe not, but you know what I mean. So I would still be very bullish if Bitcoin comes down to 42k, because that is where we have the weekly 20 EMA and the daily 50 EMA. So you guys know that I'm in Bitcoin, I'm exposed to Bitcoin, I'm looking for a bigger retrace to go pretty much all in on Bitcoin, and I will then manage that position based on where price is in relationship to the daily 20 and 50 EMA. By the way, guys, we're just 80 followers or subscribers on YouTube from 20k. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button and press that bell notification button so that you will be notified whenever we release a video. We are actually releasing videos and doing live streams on this channel every day for you guys. So hit that subscribe button and hit that like button, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have some type of giveaway for you guys when we hit 20k. I haven't really talked with Birb about that, but I guess I've said it, so I guess I have to give away something. You know what? I might give away like a one-on-one session, like a one-on-one private mentoring session where I kind of go through my system. That would be pretty cool. So yeah, subscribe. Anyway, Bitcoin right here. So anyway, like if we could get a major retrace, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin, even if we go down to the 42k area. Looking at the 4-hour trend, the 4-hour trend is still very much alive right here, very much alive. Even a move back down to the 20 EMA, I still think the 20 EMA would be a nice area for a bounce. However, I'm thinking if we'll just add a trend line here, does that make sense? Yeah, look at that. It makes too much sense. So we got some nice touches right here. So yeah, let's this trend line right here, breaking this trend line to the downside would obviously signal a break of market structure, right? And the break of that trend line will also, you know what? I feel like I'm on over analysis, just doing too much analysis on Bitcoin right here. It's just very simple. It's just very, very simple. Like we had the 50% fib right here. We have that that horizontal level. So I'll just say lose the weekly open and we'll probably head down to the 48 or 47.5 area. Lose that one, you're probably going to see some type of bounce on the daily 20 EMA, and if we lose that one, the last line of defense would be the 42k area. So I expect like a break in market structure would look something like this, right? But I'd say, you will regain the bullish market structure after that bounce right there. So if we do get a bounce here, I would just wait for a high and then go long on a new higher low, basically, right here. Something like that. But right now, there's nothing that tells me Bitcoin is going lower. Just according to price action, it feels like we're still in an uptrend, and it feels like we're going to continue this uptrend. My main focus right now is altcoins, basically. So crypto as a whole is extremely bullish right now. It feels like the trend is to the upside, and Bitcoin has not broken the uptrend, and some of the altcoins are very, very bullish in a very clear uptrend, which means that we should be looking at longs, right? With that said, let's go over to the green list. The green list, which is my altcoin list with the most interesting altcoins. This is actually a setup that I posted in our Discord for the premium members, the Nest Club members, and the calls only subscribers. So it's actually in the buy zone right now. So if you, I'm gonna explain the technicals behind this long trade right here, and if you feel like it's something that aligns with your trading style, I'd say take the trade, right? So this one is the only trade that I'm in right now, the only crypto trade that I'm in right now. I'd like to keep my trading to a a minimum. Actually, like I'd like to be in somewhere between 1 and 4 positions at a time, and no more than that. I do actually have some altcoin holdings, which I'm thinking is going to be some long-term holds, and I could actually pull up a screenshot of which ones they are, and you have them right here. So let me just pull that up. So these are currently the altcoin setups that I have in a DeFi, decentralized finance DeFi altcoin bag, which I'm looking to hold as long as the crypto market is bullish. So this is going to be my medium term altcoin holds during this bull market. And obviously this is I'm going to rebalance these every once in a while. And I'm having a long-term hold of Bitcoin and Ethereum during this uptrend. And like I said, the uptrend will be based on the Bitcoin's relationship to the daily 20 and 50 EMA. A daily open and close below the 50 EMA in a daily for Bitcoin will signal a market-wide reversal most likely, and that is when I exit Bitcoin, Ethereum, and these altcoins right here, and look for short-term trades to the downside, basically, because I believe that would be a good indication of a new altcoin market. A new crypto bear market starting, basically. So there you have it. That's my plan. And I'm, while having that medium time frame altcoin hold and long-term hold, I'm going to be having a short-term portfolio and doing the altcoin trades. So 3 portfolios, 1 long-term with Bitcoin and Ethereum, 1 medium time frame portfolio, which is this one right here, and 1 short-term portfolio based on my short-term trades, which is currently this one right here. So looking at the trend right here, we have clear highs and clear lows. The 4-hour trend is currently very strong to the upside. I like the fact that we had a break and retest. I mean, if you look at the daily right here, we have a pretty good daily level right here. And on the 4-hour, we came down and we tapped that with a nice wick inside that zone. We also tapped the 50 EMA on the 4-hour and this area right here, which kind of tells me that it looks like it wants to move higher. And if the altcoin market is going higher, this one should follow. Not should follow, but there's a likelihood, there's a probability that this will see moves to the upside. So that's Lena. You could just do whatever you want. Pause the video, copy these settings, go long, copy me if you like. This is the one I'm in. Looking at 1 inch is another one we looked at yesterday. We looked at something like this, obviously not happening. 1 inch is not looking as strong right now. It's not the clear, like the trend is very clear, but I don't see any obvious break and retest, right? So my whole idea with trading is based on a breakout and then go long and retest off that breakout level. There's no clear breakout levels and there's no clear break and retest on 1 inch. So this idea for me is not interesting, but I'm going to put an alert right here. I feel like this is going to be a way longer webinar or live than I planned, because I have only watched 2 altcoins out of like 30. Sushi USDT, this is actually looking pretty good now. In 1 hour and 15 minutes, we have a 4-hour candle closing. And if this could close as a bullish engulfing, I would like to say that this is a good long opportunity. Look at the trend. It's just very beautiful right here. You can add a trend line right here, and you can quite clearly see how You can clearly see how it's in a nice uptrend. It's bouncing off the 4-hour 50 EMA, complement with the 618, and holding the 4-hour 20 EMA and reclaiming the weekly open. This is a very good long opportunity in my opinion. And we have a couple of interesting take profits, which is going to be based on the last highs right here. And then we're going to be watching the next take profit is probably going to be somewhere up in this area right here. And the third take profit should be, I think actually it could be all the way up here. And then the last take profit for a possible moon bag would just be these highs right here probably. So that would be a good 50% move on sushi, and the average R on this trade would be, let's calculate that. I'm calculating this using the Fibonacci tool with the 1, 0, and the 50% on. So if you take that tool like this, you will get the 50% level right there, and then you find the 50% level between these two, and then you find the 50% level between these two, and that will give you the average R of this trade, which is around the TP3. So the average R on this trade with this stop loss right here would be 2.2 R, which is good but not great. So looking at this trade right here, I think it would actually make sense to put stop loss here. So the average R would be closer to 4, which is very good. So that is what I'm looking to trade on sushi if it's activates. All right, so sushi, I'll move that up in the list. So what I do is when I find an interesting setups that I could be entering in the next couple of hours, I move that to the top of the list. So I know that the top part of my list is the most interesting altcoins to watch. So I'm putting in a couple of alerts right here. By the way, for anyone interested in, I'm also in Euro 50 here. So this one was posted in the Birbness as well. If you're not trading the legacy markets, I would recommend you at least check it out. Maybe not now when crypto is going crazy, because crypto will need your full attention. But when crypto calms down, which it will, right? It comes a time when crypto goes quiet, and that's a good idea to start looking into the forex market with legacy markets. So I've entered Euro 50 here. If you're actively trading the legacy markets as well, I would think that a retest of this area right here could be a very good long opportunity. Look at the high time frame trend on this one. It looks rather bullish. So I think we're going to see some continuation to the upside right here. So check that one out. So these are the two positions I'm in currently: Euro 50 long and Lina. Yeah, Lina long, this one. So we have DOT. Is DOT looking good? Yeah, I do think DOT is looking interesting. However, I'm not going to go long on DOT because I think the best opportunity to go long is definitely down in this area on the 4-hour 50, something like that. Even all the way down here to test that trend line. That would be a beautiful entry on DOT. So I'm actually going to put some alerts down here and wait for DOT to retrace. Now, if it doesn't retrace, there's no trade, and I'm okay with that, right? But it's looking interesting, so I'm keeping it up in the in the list. We get GRT, which looks interesting, but it seems like it might break the market structure. So I would like to see retest of this level below, which is 0.982 or something like that, before I go long. Atom, it's a decent uptrend, but not seeing anything obvious here. Maybe go down to the 1 hour. There might be something here. I don't know. No, I'm not going to be trading this. It feels like I'm just trying to find something here, which is never a good idea. I'm actually going to remove Atom from the list here. I'm going to remove Graph as well, because it makes no sense. BTC, I wanted to show you a low time frame possible trade on a possible long opportunity on BTC short term. So you see how we have a pretty decent trend line right here. I like this, right? And we also have the 4-hour 20 EMA right down here. Yeah, I'm gonna look at Rune as well. I have it somewhere in the list right here. Rune. Yeah, I have it in the list. We'll talk about Rune as well. So looking at Bitcoin here, if you want to go long on Bitcoin for a short-term trade, I'd say keep your eyes on the reload zone plus the 50% right here. This whole area right here, and it would be absolutely perfect if you could get an entry on the 618 right here. Imagine if you get a wick down to test that trend line, the 618 and the 4-hour 20 EMA, that would be perfect. Your stops would be, maybe below that wick for a safer trade. Put on the other fibs, and you have TP1 at the highs, TP2 at the minus 236, and TP3 at the minus 618 for an average R of 2.5. So that is a good little long on Bitcoin. Is it risky going long on Bitcoin here? Yes, but it's still an uptrend. So yes, I think it's rather risky going long on Bitcoin here, because looking at this chart right here, we're basically at high time frame resistance. This whole area just screams resistance, right? But sometimes you just have to realize that when the trend is bullish, you should look for longs, and you should stay with the trend until the end of trend. So if this gets stopped out, there's a good possibility that the trend is ending. And if that is the case, you probably had to stop this in the right direction, right area anyway. But that is a good, a possible long that I'm looking on Bitcoin. I'm probably not going to take this, but it looks good. Right, then we have ADA, which if you want to go long on ADA, I should wait for. I mean, there has to be some type of retrace, right? Otherwise, I can't long it, because my system is based on break and retest of a horizontal level confluent with any of my moving averages, right? So I'd like to congratulate all the holders, because this is just amazing. But for a trade, it's not. I can't trade this based on my system. I would at least wait for a retrace back down to the weekly open. Hopefully, that weekly open could be confluent with the 4-hour 20 EMA right here. So I'm actually gonna just remove ADA here, because I don't see this working out as a trade. Link, I like Link. I like the fact that the trend is bullish. We had a bounce off the 4-hour 50 EMA right here, and it's holding the trend quite nicely. I think if you look at the 1 hour here, maybe if you could get an entry down here, that would be beautiful. Stops maybe even below that one right here. I think that would be a decent long opportunity, but I'm just not really. Feeling it here. It seems like a good opportunity, but yeah. I'm keeping it on the list, but I'm not going to be entering any orders for this one tonight. I really want to find something tonight, which is a bad thing. Like if you really want to trade, you should probably not be trading. Band. Let's just move on to the next one. Let's remove band. Look at Dodge. No, let's not look at that one. Aave is looking rather shit, so let's remove that one. Luna is good. Luna is nice. I like Luna. This is actually looking pretty damn good. Or is it? I don't know. Maybe not. Well, yeah, I like it. It's looking pretty good. It's just the thing with this is just it's been running quite nicely. Do we want to long up here? I mean, right. So we have a trend line here. We have somewhat of a trend line right here. You can kind of see how maybe connect these candle, like, just I don't really care if it's perfect or not, but there's definitely some type of trend line right here. You can clearly see that there's lower lows right here. So maybe a break above that trend line or something like that. You can see on the 1 hour it becomes even more clearer and cleaner. So maybe a break above that trend line at least could get us to. I'm gonna watch Litecoin as well. I have Litecoin in the list. It's three. You guys don't have to repeat your. You don't have to repeat your short requests because I am watching them, and if they're not on the list, I'm unfortunately not gonna look at them, because you gotta understand that. What I'm doing here is like, this is my normal procedure when trading. I have my list. I go through my list and I look at trades. So that's what I'm going to do, and I want to also kind of show you the process. So yeah, Terra Luna, I mean, is looking pretty interesting right here. So I'm moving that up. We got link FTM. No, let's remove that one. CRV is I like the retest right here. This is actually a setup I posted which got wrecked completely, but then took out all the take profits, which is just it's terrible. But shit like that happens all the time. But I like the fact that it's actually retesting these retesting this level right here. So there might be a setup here, but I don't know. Like I'm not sure. No, never mind. It's not that clean. So let's just remove it. We got Litecoin right here. Litecoin is looking good. I like the fact that it's holding the trend. It's holding the weekly open right here. But there's no clear setup here for me. But going long here on Litecoin kinda makes sense. It's definitely lagging behind here. So not a. Look at this. We should really have followed that idea, but can't follow all the plans all the time. So Litecoin is obviously at resistance right here, but it's looking pretty strong here on the 4 hour, really holding that area quite nicely. So if you want to go long on Litecoin at current prices, I would at least look at a 5 to 10% stop loss, because for a high time frame hold, take profit one would be like 20% above current price. All right, that's Litecoin. We got E. Yeah, I'll come to Shillis as well. Let's add Litecoin. Let's have that one on here. EGLD. All right, EGLD. Holding the trend very nicely here. Also reclaiming the weekly open right here. I'd say that this looks like a decent long opportunity as well. And also, it's very important to remember here that obviously if Bitcoin dumps, these altcoins will dump with Bitcoin, especially if it happens quick. If Bitcoin could range here and have some slow bleed, altcoins are most likely going to rally. But if Bitcoin dumps, altcoins will dump as well. So you can't just throw money in the altcoin market and hope for the best. You have to actually use proper risk management and risk management. Well, I said that twice. Damn it. You have to use proper risk management. So you have to risk like 1 to 2% on one setup, and then not enter 10 setup, because then you have 10 to 20% risk in the market, which is way too much. So what I do is I stick with 1 to 4 active positions at a time, and I then have 1% on each position. So if Bitcoin dumps and all the altcoin setups get stopped out, I will never lose more than 4% of my portfolio. But the upside potential is, on each of the setups, it's somewhere between 2 and 4 R's. So on average, if I lose 4% of my portfolio, I might win, if they turn out to be good trades, I might win 15-20%. So the risk to reward is definitely there. Right, so EGLD, interesting. Definitely, I'm moving that one further up. Alpha, I don't like. I lost so much money on Alpha scalping this. I had a live scalping session, and I entered one too many zeros on my position size, which means I added a 0 to my risk. So the risk were like, it's just too much. So I'm just removing that one. I got PTSD from that one, so I'm just removing that one. We got Rune right here. Rune is just a beast. It front ran that level we were looking to buy and had a perfect retest of the 20 EMA and 4 hour right here, and you started rallying. So on Rune right here, I need to see a retrace back down to like the weekly open or the 4 hour 20 EMA before entering a new trade on Rune. But it's definitely interesting here. All right, so we got TRX. This is also looking very interesting, and this is a setup that I've been watching. And I think this could actually be a great short-term trade where you basically just long this bounce right here and take profit at these highs for a quick 2R basically. So I do think that this is a decent setup on the TRX. So I'm going to be monitoring that one as well. So I'm moving that up into the list. ADA right here, I'll move that all the way down. And we'll look at Algo. Algo is breaking down. So what I'm watching here is a retest here. I'm going to be adding an alert on Algo hitting the 50 EMA in a 4 hour. And then we have the Altcoin Index, which basically shows a pretty damn bullish market structure. This tells me that the altcoin market is looking very bullish. There's no sign of a breakdown on the altcoin market. So yeah, longs are in favor, and I'm actually looking at potential long on the alt index down at the weekly open. So I'm adding an alert right there and moving that to the top of the list. We got Algo breaking down audio, which had a beautiful retest here on the 50 EMA and 4 hour. That was the setup. That was the long opportunity right here. So I missed that one. Like that was the long, missed that one. Not interested in taking a new trade on this one because I'm just not sure that there's going to be a. Yeah, I feel like the good possibility it's gone on audio, so I'm just removing that one. AVAX looking pretty good. I like that. The potential retest of the weekly open right here. If it can test that level and hold it as support, I'm definitely interested in going long, and this would be the obvious stop loss level. So a 8% stop loss on that one would make sense. So the setup would probably look something like this. And if we add the fibs, you will probably find the reload zone right there as well. So it's actually inside and testing the reload zone right now. So I'll probably put my entries on the midpoint of the reload zone, stop loss below that one, and TP1 at the 236, TP2 at 0, and TP3 at minus 236, and then the TP4 at the minus 618. So that would be the setup on AVAX. I'm moving that one further up, and we're looking at ball. Not much to say about this one. I'm just going to remove that one. We got band. Remove that one as well. That. So I'm just gonna be removing some stuff quicker here because I do feel like the list is too big. Bat is looking interesting, looking for a retest of this level right here. So you can, by watching me scanning the markets, and then, well, I did the market scan already, but watching me go through the list of the altcoins and then watching, which one I'm keeping on the list and which ones I'm removing and why I'm keeping them and why I'm removing them. Hopefully that is a very good learning experience for you guys, and because this is really one of the most important things about trading. I believe the the whole so if you keep spamming the chat with request, I'm not gonna look at them. I'm sorry. So why can't you long bat? Let's look at that. Good question. Good question. Ball, I mean. All right. Well, so ball, I'm gonna look at Phil and Cake as well because those are really interesting ones. So we have that in the list as well. We're gonna look at them. So ball, BAL, looks pretty good here, but I don't like the fact that I'm not sure if I can explain why I don't like it. I just don't like the fact that it I don't know, man. I feel like it should hold this area as support. So if it actually holds this area as support, I would probably go long. But the thing is, like the invalid, well, actually it's only 6%. All right. So it's not looking that bad. It's not looking that bad. I could long this if we see a nice bounce inside this zone right here, but I'm not going to because something just tells me not to long this, and I just have to sometimes trust my intuition, because when you have that gut feeling that says it looks decent, but I don't want to long it because like I just don't feel like it's a good setup, and as long as that's not based on emotions, and if it's purely your intuition is telling you that it just doesn't look good, you should probably follow that gut feeling. But if it's your feelings, like you're feeling fear about entering, you're feeling greedy or stressed or whatever, that's nothing you should follow. But when, like, you gotta understand, like when you have years of experience doing this every day, every day for several years, um, you will you will start to have built up some sort of intuitive something will just tell you, intuition, you know what I mean, let's not get into detail. So yeah, I'm not going to trade that one. Let's look at bat. I would like to see a retrace down to the 20 EMA on the 4 hours, so I'm just going to keep put an alert right here and remove that from the list because it's not something that will activate today. BNB right here, I'm looking for a retrace down to that level right here or to the 4 hour 20 EMA. So I'm just adding an alert to the 4 hour 20 EMA, and I'm then removing that one from the list. And now we have Cake. Cake is looking absolutely fantastic. So I mean, look at this trend. It's just picture perfect uptrend. Picture perfect uptrend. Just like this. Well, okay, the trend line is kind of trash, but it makes sense, right? So here on Cake, you have a beautiful level right here. Just a beautiful level. All right, so this is important. If you're going long on this, and you need me to check if you're doing it right, you're not following a system, and you're most likely not following a clear set of rules and clear set of plans. So Bitcoin dropping. Yeah, so losing the weekly open. Now we're probably watching for a bounce on the 4-hour 20 EMA. Anyway, I'm going to check this one for you, but it's very important to remember that if you're not following a trading system or a trading strategy with very clear rules, and if you don't have a trading plan on your own, you need to get that. You need to find that. You need to fix that before you start trading, right? Very important. All right, so you went long at 35.8. So if I think this is decent, right? I think this is decent. I mean, I guess there's some type of area right here. So yeah, and you have a retest of that area. So yeah, I guess this is not a terrible place to go long. But looking at the this W right here, I would have wanted to see something like this before going long. So I would want to have went long right here. So we got Alex in the chat writing a lot of altcoins, which I guess are altcoin requests. I've already went through most of them, and I have this list right here, which I'm going to go through. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, link dot. Man, you have a lot of alts right there. A lot of alts. Probably. I've gone through most of them. Sorry, man. Yeah, all right. So this is a decent idea. Stop loss should be like 10%, 10% below entry. I would not take this trade, but if you're long on this, yeah, can you make an example of a sort of basic, simple system? That is a great question. I love this. Beautiful. So questions like this, really like this. I really love the, you guys having questions about not only short requests, because I can. It's much like I can show you. I can show you whatever shot you want, right? But the best thing I can give you is I can tell you that 99% of the altcoins right now all look the same, right? They all look the same, and it's all about market structure. If you find an altcoin that is in a bullish market structure with higher highs and higher lows, you want to go long. And my system is based on finding clear trends where I can go long on a break and retest of a horizontal level, and that horizontal level is then going to be confluent with the indicators that I'm using. So what I'm going to do now, which I like to do from time to time, is I'm going to go. So let's ignore the rest of the list here, and we're going to spend 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes at looking at an overview of my trading system. So take what I'm giving you tonight, scan the markets on your own, and apply it. And if you do this, you don't have to ask me for any short request in the future. You have a framework on what to do. So yeah. All right, so there's a couple of things we need to first go through. Number one is market structure. Market structure. 2 horizontal levels, 3 EMAs, 4 fibs, 5 stochastics RSI, and I think 6. And this is the order of importance. Trend lines. So this is This is it. Market structure, horizontal levels, EMAs, fibs, stochastics, RSI, and trend lines. The EMAs are the 20 and 50 EMA on 4-hour and daily. No other time frames and no other EMAs am I interested in. Perhaps the 1 hour, 20 and 50 as well, but that's more of trying to get the best possible entries. So if you're watching this in a replay, you can just pause the video, make a screenshot or whatever of this right now, and I will remove that. So market structure, most important thing. Then horizontal levels. Those two combined are the basics of most markets and 99% of all trading systems out there. So if you know how to identify market structure and draw horizontal levels, you're way ahead of most traders out there. I really do believe that. Everything else is just to help you, guide you in the right direction of which horizontal levels are the best ones. I really think that's all it is. Right, so first of all, market structure, right? The main system and the main strategy that I'm using, which is the most simplest one and the most easiest one to understand, is a trend following system where I first have to identify the trend. So you look for higher highs and higher lows, right? Like this, that's an uptrend. Very, very clear, that's an uptrend, right? And yeah, I can go through one altcoin with this. So I'll give you an overview of the system and then I'll apply that to an altcoin so you can show exactly how it works with live trades. That's a horizontal level. That is a horizontal level. And this is a horizontal level, right? So that's our horizontal support and resistance area, right? Now, what you want to see is you want to add the 20 and 50 EMA, right? So let's say this is daily and we have the 20 EMA going like this, right? Then you have the 50 EMA going like this, right? So now you have a confluence here with on that bounce, you have the 20 EMA, so that is a good confluence right there. You add the Fibonacci tool right here, and you will see that it's also confluent with, let's say it's the 50, right? So you get it bounced on the 50s, you have the 20 EMA on the daily, and it also bounces on the 50% Fib right here. And you have a, let's say I have a trend line going like this. So from below here, you have a, you have a low down here, which connects the trend line and that one. So you get a trend line area right here where you also have the daily 20 EMA and the 50% Fib. So you now have lots of different indicators telling you that the behavior of the trend is telling you that you should get a bounce here because the same thing happened here and the same thing happened here and the same thing is most likely going to continue to happen until the end of the trend. And that looks like this. You know, range, bearish market structure. And you're going to get stopped out somewhere here. Anyway. And we then have the stochastics RSI. So let's say that all of this right here, is happening while the stochastics RSI is in the oversold territory. And it might also give you a stochastics bull cross. And that means, it's turning bullish. You get a bull cross below 30. If everything happens at the same time, you go long. And the entry trigger for this would be on the 4-hour. I would wait for a 4-hour bullish engulfing. If all of this happens at the same time while seeing a 4-hour bullish engulfing, I go long. And that's it. That's my whole system. So let me show you how that looks in real life. Not in real life, obviously, but in... Is this system only for longing? No, it's for a trend trading. So I use this system in the crypto market, in the forex market. In the forex market, you obviously go long and short all the time. So it's not only for longing. If you look at the forex market right here, for example, let me show you. I don't know. I'll just quickly go through here and see if we can find a decent example here. So right here in the forex market, for example, you have a resistance area right here, something like that, and you have the daily 50 EMA right here. So if price comes up and have a round retest of that resistance area and stochastics bull cross with everything I talked about, I want to go short here. So it's just a trend following system. It doesn't really matter if you go long or go short. How can we use the emails when we want to go short? Do you wait for a candle close? It seems like we have a fellow Swedish speaker in here. So yes, definitely. Do you wait for a candle close? Yeah, I'll talk about that. Control C. Yeah, I know, but I know, man. What I do is I go into this panel right here and remove it right here. Do I wait for a candle close? Yes, I do. I want the 4-hour 4-hour bullish engulfing. A lot of questions, guys. A lot of questions. I will go through them once at a time. So let's go to an altcoin that I know there's trades on, which is basically every altcoin right now. We can look at the altcoin. No, not this one. Let's look at Lena, AVAX, Luna, DOT. Is DOT looking good? Yeah. Let's see if we have any perfect scenarios right here. Maybe on Rune. Rune. Yeah, I think this is a pretty decent idea. Yeah, okay. So we got Rune right here. Let's remove everything here and we're going to start from the beginning. Also, I forgot about mentioning the weekly and monthly open, but it's not that important, so we don't really have to look at that. So we have a completely clean shot here of Rune. And what we want to do first is we want to let's use the replay function here. So let's just pretend that this is a live trade. So what we do first is we try to identify the market structure. We look at the high time frames, right? Look at the high time frames. We try to identify the market structure. Obviously, the market structure right here is, in a bearish trend right here, right? And then you have a possible break in market structure here with a higher high, and then a higher low. And my expectations here would be to see a move like this. That would be a pretty good and decent thing to see. And I also have the daily stochastic RSI here. So this tells me that this is possibly a longing opportunity, because for the first time in 90 days have we seen a bullish break in market structure on Rune. So we waited 90 days for this to happen. So it's definitely worth taking the risk to go long here. So that's on the daily. Now let's go on the 4-hour. Well, first we need to add a horizontal level. We could go to the line chart and we can try to find good levels on the line chart. We have, I think that's a good level right there. And then above we have a decent level somewhere in this area right here. We go to the candlestick chart once again. And you can clearly see how there's an area somewhere here. Let's just add it right between. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't really matter if it's like the perfect horizontal level. We just need to know that this is our area and our area of interest, right? So what we do now is we have the stochastics on. We'll add the 4-hour, 20, and 50 EMA, and you can also see here that the dotted lines right here is the daily EMAs, and the 4-hour EMAs are the solid ones. And if you go to the daily, you'll see that the thicker ones is the daily and the thinner ones is the 4-hour. Same thing on the 1-hour. The thinner dotted is the 4-hour and the thicker ones are the daily. So we look at the 4-hour right here, and we want the trend to be bullish above the 20 and 50 EMA and the daily. And we want a very clear trend on the 4-hour. So look at this. This is a very, very clear trend on the 4-hour. This is something that I could long, but I could not long it down here because it's below the 50 EMA and the daily, and those daily moving averages are bearish to the downside. But now we're seeing a flip, right? And we're also seeing the daily 20 cross above the 50, which is a good indication of a bullish continuation move. So we go forward here. We see a breakout. Now we really see something happening here, because on the daily we have a higher high and high low, which means we're now in a bullish market structure on the higher time frames, with the daily EMAs also being bullish. So now it's time to look for longs, and we look for longs by waiting for a retrace down to a breakout level, or just a significant level, or the 20 or 50 EMA, whatever. This is right now a very significant level. So we wait and we wait and we wait, and we see if we could actually get a retest of any of these moving averages. Obviously, we got a test of the 20 right here, but I think it's best just to wait. So now we're testing that level down here. So we're testing the breakout level, and on the daily, it looks like we're retracing down to a significant level on the daily as well. And we're on the 4-hour 50 EMA right here. Let's see if we add a trend line, something, somewhere here. I need to have that trend line on to kind of give me an indication of we might possibly come down and hit that trend line, right? And now that we have a low and a high, I would add the Fibonacci tool right here from that low to this high. And the reason why I'm choosing that low and this high is because this is the low of the breakout move, and that is the high of the breakout move. So basically you have one low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, and every low and high you put the lows and the highs of the Fibonacci tool. And always remember that the Fibonacci tool should always be used forward in time, never backwards in time. If you do it backwards in time, it will be inversed and invalid. So extend that right here. So I really wish I would have looked at this scenario before, because it would be quite embarrassing if this were a loser, but it doesn't really matter. This system has somewhere between a 50 and 60% win rate, which means you will lose trades. So just accept that. As a trader, you need to accept that you're going to lose trades. So let's see if we can find a 4-hour bullish engulfing. You shouldn't be comparing Thorchain. What the fuck are this dude even talking about? I'm obviously showing my trading system, and I'm using the replay function in TradingView. This is back like, never mind. Obviously, never mind. Sorry, man. Right. So I'm hitting the 0.618 here and the trend line. So let's see if we can get a 4-hour bullish engulfing with a stochastics RSI bull cross, which looks like it's about to happen right here. There you have it. There's a 4-hour bullish engulfing and a stochastics bull cross on the stochastics RSI. So but all right. So just give me a second here. So what I'm doing is I'm explaining my trading system and my trading strategy using an altcoin. It could be whatever altcoin. I don't care if it's Thorchain or ADA or T-Feud or whatever. I'm using this as an example to show you guys my trading system and my trading style and my entry trigger. This could be the Euro USD market. It doesn't matter if it's an altcoin or a Forex market. I'm not talking about Rune as a potential runner or a future product or a good investment. I'm using the replay function in TradingView to go back and show an example of a trading system. So it has nothing to do with Rune or Thorchain as a product at all. So we get a 4-hour bullish engulfing. And the idea is you want to wait for the 4-hour candle to close. Preferably, you would want that to close above the 20 EMA. So this would be one way to enter this trade. Stop loss below the wick of the 4-hour candle or slightly lower. In this case, maybe below the trend line, right? And that's it. That is the system. You have the 4-hour and the daily 20 and 50 EMA. What is the name of the EMA indicator to setup time frame? I will show you. It is called Higher Time Frame EMA by somebody called Sen and the Art of Trading. Higher Time Frame EMA by Sen and the Art of Trading. And I'm using 4 of them at once, 2 for the 4 hour and 2 for the daily, obviously. Now, so we have the 4 hour 20 and 50 EMA. We have the daily 20 and 50 EMA. We're adding the fibs to find good areas. We see that we almost hit the 618 here and the 50%, and we have the trend line. We have the stochastics RSI, and it also hit a very strong horizontal level with a bullish market structure. Not the most complicated system. And honestly, you can remove all the indicators. You can remove everything. You can remove all the indicators, and this would still be a break and retest of a horizontal level. And that is what I'm telling you. You only really need market structure and horizontal level to trade this. I'm just using the indicators it's just easier for me to quickly find the setups. So that's the idea. Now let's see how this turned out. And this is where we are right now. And so that would be the trade on Rune, where I would take profit at the minus 6.8 right here. So that would be the trade, right? You enter down here and you exit at the minus 6.18. Or if you have you have to look at the high time frames, you could have you could let this run just to all back up to all-time highs, right? But that's basically it. And you look at the daily, you also had a nice daily bullish engulfing right here. So you could play this using the daily bullish engulfing as well. But in that case, the stochastics RSI on a daily would be quite overbought. But yeah, and you can also play this a bit differently, where you wait for a 4-hour bullish engulfing. You see right here, you have a secondary 4-hour bullish engulfing right here. So you could wait for that one. Let's add a line to mark out the candle close right there. And we go to the 1 hour, and we're going to see that you have, this is actually one way of getting a safer entry and the best possible scalp entry to make the crazy big risk to reward trades, which is you see this level right here. So that level right there, and you see how the 4-hour bullish engulfing closed, I believe, here. So the 4-hour closed right here, right? And then you go down to the 15-minute, go down to the 15-minute, and you see this, right? So you the 4-hour bullish engulfing should trigger a long for you, but it could also trigger an interest in going long on lower time frames. So you see we broke above the trend, we're back in bullish territory, and this is where you might want to add the moving averages on the lower time frames. And on the lower time frames, I use the 20, the 50, and the 100. And let me show you how that looks. When you go long based on this, you want to have the 20 above the 50 and the 50 above the 100, and you want to have them nicely and evenly fanned out like this. So in this case right here, if you want to have a very, very tight entry and an extremely profitable trade, you now see that you have this as the breakout candle and this as the low prior to the breakout. So if you go down to the 5-minute, as soon as you see this bounce right here, you could enter. Let's say maybe you enter on that candle right there. And you put your stop loss below that wick right there. And now you're going to use the same take profits as the swing trade. Because remember, the whole idea was to enter a swing trade, but you found a scalp entry. And this is how you get the stupid big trades. If you have the patience and the balls to really hold this, this is the type of trade that would get a couple of these every year, and you're done. I mean, if you risk 1% on this, it would be a 15% Obviously, the average R would be like 11, but still a 11% win, a 11R trade on one trade is huge, right? Just a very, very big win. If you take a couple of these every year, you're going to be making a lot of money, because some of these trades will, you can put it this way, a 11 trade winner will pay for 11 losers. So you can lose 10 trades in a row, and then the 11th one is this one, and you'll be at break even, which is just showing you the power of having trades like this from time to time. It's not happening often, and it's definitely not easy, but I've entered a couple of these, and I'd say a couple of times a year I have the 10 to 20 odd trades based on this technique, and that is the trades that will make my year, right? If you have 4 trades like this every year, that's on average going to be like, somewhere between 40 and 50% increase on your portfolio in 4 to 5 trades, which is going to save you they save you from a lot of losing streaks, because some losing streak might last for 5 to 10 and 10 losers, and you're going to be down quite a lot. Having a trade like this, when you bag the 10R winner, that you're safe from the next major drawdown period, which is just a fantastic, beautiful feeling to have as a trader. You know that you're in the green for a long time. Okay, guys. So I think that is it for today's webinar. Let's see if I have any questions. Could you explain the importance of weekly open for this? Yeah. Okay. So I've showed you different indicators right here and how I'm using them in my trading. Basically what I do is I look for market structure and horizontal levels, and I then look at the indicators to find confluence with the horizontal levels. That's it, right? The weekly and monthly opens are used as a added confluence, right? So right here you have the monthly open. You can see how it's holding the monthly open. That it's obviously bullish. But if, for example, you would have the monthly open here, if you had the monthly open here, I would not go long here. I would not go long right into monthly open. But if you had the monthly open here, I might have gone long earlier. If you had the weekly open here, I would go long here, but I would make sure to take profit at the weekly open. So the monthly open and the weekly open is horizontal support and resistance, and they usually work very, very well as horizontal support and resistance, especially if they're confluent with other horizontal levels. All right, guys, I gotta get some sleep. I haven't really slept for a couple of days. My son is keeping me up all night, so I feel just completely exhausted. So yeah, I think this was a rather good webinar, a good explanation of my trading style and my trading system. I'm sure it's simple enough for a lot of you to understand at least the basics of it, and then I would like you to kind of experiment with it, stuff like that. All right. Thank you all, and see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. I appreciate it very much. Take care.